Government registration of Venezuelans is meant to count those who are in Trinidad and Tobago illegally. The exercise is set to commence this Friday, May 31st, and to continue to June 14th. Questions on the process and rights of Venezuelans were answered this morning by the Chief Immigration Officer. Marie-Therese Bernard has more.
Chief Immigration Officer Charmaine Gandhi Andrews on the Now Morning program told us what government is hoping to achieve by granting an amnesty to illegal Venezuelans and registering them.
It is meant to, one, account for how many Venezuelans are actually here, but recognizing that a number of them have come into this country as economic migrants. I'm not going to use the word refugees because that has a different connotation and that has a different definition.
Right.
So they have come here for economic reasons, and government has taken the bold step to grant an amnesty to the Venezuelan nationals who are here and who we know are working illegally in Trinidad and Tobago.
Ms. Gandhi Andrews explained that after their registration, the Venezuelans will receive a card.
And the card, that really is a permit for them to remain and work legally.
Is this an ID card?
No, it's not an ID card.
Okay.
And it is not a card that gives them permanent residence. It's not a card that gives anybody an entitlement to vote. And I clear that up right away. It is a card that allows them to remain and work legally in the country. It's granting them what we call in immigration and under the law a minister's permit.
As mentioned, the minister's permit allows the registered Venezuelan to stay in TNT to work legally. The chief immigration officer explained other rights that the Venezuelans will have.
They are entitled to emergency health care. There's some primary health care that will be available to them. And other than that, they will have to go to some private medical.
So they'll have to pay?
Yes, and they will have to
Education?
pay. No education.
Okay.
Minister was clear about that. A lot of the NGOs are actually facilitating them by creating curricula that the Venezuelans would use.
The registration process requires that Venezuelans complete the form online. They must take it into one of 3 centers set aside for this purpose. Ms. Gandhi Andrews explained that Venezuelans in their homeland will not be able to go online and apply. She said only those in Trinidad and Tobago will be able to access the registration form. Marie-Therese Bernard, TTT News.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of National Security says the government of Trinidad and Tobago has not accepted any financial assistance from any international body with respect to the Venezuelan situation. It says in a release it's being reported on social media that government has accepted money from U.S. aid for the Venezuelan situation. However, the ministry says any such suggestion is not only incorrect but also mischievous. And still with the Venezuelans, Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Clarence Rambarat, says he is in support of Venezuelan migrants being absorbed into the agricultural sector to help boost food production. He was speaking at the U-Pick farm located at Tucker Valley Road in Chaguaramas, where he volunteered with Scotiabank for the National Day of Caring.
The Venezuelans, I welcome this amnesty. Up in Orange Grove and other parts of the country, we're seeing Venezuelan labor being used. I must admit that it is not traditional farming labor. Some of them come from the city, some do come from Tucupita, where they are accustomed to fishing and farming and so on. But I think that it is a plus for the country. The farmers have been begging me for the opportunity to access imported labor.
At the CARICOM level, he referenced the fact that Trinidad and Tobago has accepted free movement of agricultural labor.
So you have, from the CARICOM itself, you would have agricultural workers who would like to come to Trinidad, starting with Guyana.